Hey guys, Travel Cat here today, and since I'm going to be away, I decided to make a little stockpile list for you guys to keep yourself busy. I'll talk about build stuff first, and then I'll talk about my travel plans afterwards, so if you're interested in that, stick around. So basically what we did on the stream today was we made a list of skills which seem like they'll probably be good in 3.0. So obviously we're expecting another big balance change, but these are the kind of things to sort of plan around now. And if you're trying to find ways to keep yourself occupied between now and release, and you want stuff to mess around with on the beta, these would be the kind of things to think about. If there are any major ones you think I've left out, leave them down below. If there are any of these that you think will be terrible, then also let me know. So, starting off, pretty basic stuff. SRS, Classic Summoner, Cast when Channeling Animate Weapon, Aurabot stuff. Nothing's really affected that style of gameplay. Yes, poison-based shenanigans with 7 and Sleep will be slightly weaker, but just go elemental base. Summoners will be strong in some form or another come 3.0. Next up, and you'll see I've grouped most of these, we have mines. Mines have always been a very good way of getting a lot of just easy upfront damage, and that isn't really going to change at all. So Fire Nova, Glacial Cascade, Frostspot mines all look really solid. There's also Kinetic Blast mines, which would be pretty good, but those are just kind of what I've grouped together for now. And also I'm picking the top things of each one. So for example, rather than naming every single cold skill, which might be okay, I'm just going to name the ones which will do the most damage, which currently just looks like it'll be Frostbolt. And then I include Glacial Cascade in there because when you put it on a mine, the AoE coverage on it's actually pretty good. Another important thing to notice with mines is with Arcane Surge, they've changed it so that we're no longer trigger on attacks, but you just link detonate mines to Arcane Surge, and you have 100% uptime on Arcane Surge, which gives you a bunch of extra damage, cast speed, and mana regen, all of which are really nice for mines. Fire Nova mine especially, since it scales off cast speed. Insert skills here. Basically, the bog standard budget start of League totem build will basically be fine. Probably replace Lane Blast totems with Bladeful totems, RF totems, whatever elemental skill seems decent, shove on a totem and you'll be good to go. Burn-wise, Scorching Ray, Righteous Fire, Low Life Righteous Fire, all of those are definitely going to be tier 1 next league. Scorching Ray, it struggles a little bit getting enough movement speed, but if you just play something like Inquiz or Trickster maybe with some mom shenanigans, as much attack speed as possible, you'll be absolutely fine. Any 100% Fizz to Elemental attack will be good. Again, rather than just going all Ice Crash, Frostwaves, etc., if you just play a good Ascendancy like Pathfinder or Raider or insert Ranger based Ascendancy here, and you just get 100% conversion and you get a decent weapon, your build will clear. Doesn't matter, just get a decent weapon and it'll be alright. Same thing with the, pure Fizz builds. If you make a half-decent Sunder character, you'll be okay. If you make a half-decent EQ character, you'll be okay. Cyclone, etc. Just work out whatever seems to be the best kind of weapon base going to 3.0. See which skills aren't terrible. Ignore the bad ones. Just pick the strong ones. And in some form or another, you'll be okay. Wands and bows. Barrage is currently the best single target in the game pretty much. Even if they nerf Barrage, it'll probably still be insane. So any form of Wander or bows, which is using Barrage, will be alright. Ethereal Knives and Blade skills. So basically, if it has Blade in the name, it's a good skill. If it has Blades, it's not always good, but singular Blade is solid. Valspark / Spark. I think Valspark will still be a build. It will just be basically a Spark build 60-70% of the time, and then you just press the Valspark when you can to clear out massive rooms. But I think Spark will be really solid, and if the data mining is true, then it's definitely going to be amazing. Apparently it's got a new threshold jewel, we don't know. Firestorm, comboed with Immolate, PogChamp. Firestorm wasn't that dependent on ignites anyway. You can do Firestorm without poison and still be PogChamp. You'll be alright. Cast when Channeling, there will be some form of Cast when Channeling build. Just try and be intelligent about the way you group things together. If you're doing something which can be converted to fire, go Scorching Ray for the extra pen. Don't make a Cast when Channeling build if there's no point to, if it means that you're getting to ignore mana costs or cast speed, or you're getting to debuff enemies, or you're getting to off-screen better, then it's good. If there isn't a solid reason for it, think, am I wasting links? Whatever. And then potentially new skills. GGG has started releasing trailers of new skill gems. They look kind of interesting. We don't know about the damage numbers yet, but something could be there potentially. Immolate in general. Immolate is busted. Immolate needs nerfing in my opinion. If they don't nerf Immolate, just do Immolate plus insert attack. PogChamp. Mathel's messed around with it. He will continue to mess around with it. He will be doing something stupid with Immolate if they don't nerf Immolate. Immolate is just nuts. Immolate, added lightning, added cold, some way to proc it, and just like wed. Ez game. Ice and Lightning Trap. Ice and Lightning Trap are both pretty good budget starters. They do decent amount of damage. The current like Lightning Trap conversion thing obviously will be kind of dead with all the ignite changes, but they still pack a lot of punch. So there will be some form of trapper most likely which you'll be able to roll in 3.0 to start with if you want, which won't feel like complete arse. Fire Trap I'm not sure about. Some people have been telling me that Fire Trap feels way better. Some people have been telling me it plays way worse. It kind of depends how you build it. Do you want to build it around the Ignite Prolif or do you want to build it around the Burn? That's something which you kind of need to explore more. ED is still fine. ED is perfectly okay. Caustic Arrow is... Okay, so ED and Caustic Arrow in a weird place. They're kind of like better than they were or about the same as they were before 3.0, but boss HP has been like doubled, probably more than doubled in many cases. So, yeah. Caustic Arrow definitely needs some kind of ED decay setup to kill bosses now. Like, definitely 100%, but it still clears pretty well pack-wise, so probably alright. And then here's just like a list of items, which if you can get your hands on any one of these items towards the start of the league for not too much money, you'll have a good build. So, Doomfletch is nuts. It's like, just... Hions. Hions being changed. It used to give 3% more damage taken based on how many frenzies you have. They've now nerfed that to 1% per frenzy. That's obviously a very substantial change. If you had 10 frenzies, for example, you go from taking 30% increase to 10% increased damage. That's pretty nuts. Hions is going to be a really solid starter weapon. It does a lot of damage. It has like 650 flat LE on a one hand, which is insane. 5% crit, so you need to be intelligent about how you rock it. But yeah, Hion, PogChamp. Varanastra as always. If we get an easy way to access Varanastra through the way they change up the div cards, or if we have like easy access to Brandus, Varanastra will always be amazing. And Varanastra is an item which often kind of like goes under the radar for a lot of people. They tend to sell like not that expensive for what they are, so yeah, just I include it in the list. Oro plus Immolate seems good. Void batteries, again, they're one of those items which are like everyone knows they're really powerful, and then they kind of have their like sleeper moments. The last few leagues, void batteries have been kind of cheap, but with the massive like reshift of the meta that's coming with 3.0, I could quite easily see void batteries returning to this like insane price point. It's just something to really watch out for. If they're affordable, void battery builds will just be amazing. Piscators. Wonders are always good. Wonders have Barrage. Piscator is cheap Barrage. They've buffed added lightning, they've buffed added cold. You've now got stuff like Immolate. That makes Piscators better. So, Piscators. Cospreys. I'm sure there'll be a way to build Cospreys. And if you build Cospreys in some form, you'll be alright. Lionize. Lionize was always a pretty solid bow. They've now given it up to 30% more damage based on how far away enemies are. Meaning if you're doing a non-crit build, you go Ellie Overload with Doomfletch, with Lionize, and yeah, just Pogachini. Insane OP. It was a really good bow for a lot of builds. It won't be used as much in like the Burning Arrow setups, which some people used to use it in before Zoffs came out. And why I don't include Zoffs in this is I don't know what the state of those builds will be. But I'm sure Lionize will be a really solid starter option for a lot of people. And also remember they've taken 50% multi off of Opus, which makes stuff like Doomfletch and Lionize even more attractive. Whispering Ice. Whispering Ice will become a lot cheaper to gear around since the Howler nerf, so less people playing Howler builds. There might still be Howler in 3.0, but we don't really know. If you went some like Tri-Curse regen-based CI Occultist, you can still do the crazy int stacking. You can go cast and channeling if you want to. And yeah, you're not going to have the leech you used to have, but Occultists don't need leech because of regen, and it's going to be really easy to gear because no one's going to be buying the gear for it, and it's just good. Nahamahus. Nahamahus is a very hard to pronounce weapon, easily an offensive weapon. It does offense amounts of damage. It will just always be solid. Brutus does Sprinkler. Has been slightly nerfed, but will probably still be insane, so yeah. Baron. It's Baron. It makes summoner builds even better than they already were. Hedgies is a crit staff with stupid amounts of top end. Pledge of Hands. Pledge of Hands is good with Mom. Mom is insane now. Pledge of Hands equals like one of the best budget starter weapons for like every Mom build. Dream Feather / Queen of the Forest. Dream Feather, Queen of the Forest is always good. It was always good. You can't do poison with it now, but now you go Ellie. They've buffed all the flat Ellie gems, and they've buffed evasion across the board. So evasion's had a massive buff. They've buffed the flat Ellie gems. Go Ellie Dream Feather. Seems good. Scourge, minion damage, necro, attack, whatever. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, if you pick any one of those skills and mess around with them, you can make a build around it. Just take those kinds of general themings. So, with that out of the way, what will I be up to over the next few days? So tomorrow I'm traveling up to Manchester for Preachcon, who, as I've said many times before, is a WoW YouTuber and streamer who I've been watching for many, many years. I will be taking my new phone. I can stream on this phone. I can upload and record videos from this phone. I will do my best to react to any Path of Exile news which drops, but I'm not taking a laptop. I'm only taking a phone. So, yeah, I can react to things, but I can't really be like, ooh, let's film, like, me reading Reddit, you know, like, I can't do shit like that. So if they do a crazy, like, dev drop or anything, all I can realistically do is just kind of react to the dev drop, but I don't know. Expect to see some IRL streams while out there, expect to see some random drunk vlogging at, like, 3, 4 in the morning or whatever, but that should be a lot of fun. Otherwise, I'll be back on the 21st, I believe, which is the Friday. So I'll be back on the Friday and then probably need like a day or so to recover. So expect to see stuff back in action sort of on the Saturday. People still worrying about Bay class and stuff. As far as I'm aware, we're still trying to organize something with the guys from Coffee Talk. Since I've mostly been preparing for my trip and stuff, I've kind of just left things up to the others. And the others have all been pretty busy, so I wouldn't expect something this weekend. If something does happen this weekend, then you guys really need to give props to the other guys, because they've kind of been left in charge of management for this week. But when I get back from my trip, if nothing has been organised and scheduled, I will make sure something happens soon, TM. But yeah, so those are skills which might be decent in 3.0. That's what I'm going to be up to, and next time you see me, I will be not in this room. Bye.